good evening, everybody, or good morning, however you want to look at this, and welcome to another edition of Boss Sessions. I'm your host, Topher. We are hanging out. We are very live and very much hanging out, considering the Patriots just wrapped. Everything is going pretty well. There's a huge amount of crapola going on. Considering the Red Sox have made a deal, still not sure how I feel about it. A lot of people basically oogling, and it's great to oogle. Not gonna lie, every once in a while you do need to oogle. I'll tell people, hey, I want that Christmas, because they oogled. Well, with the season coming up, I accidentally closed out of my thing here, so that's what I'm basically looking at. Not that I'm ignoring you. I don't ignore people, I swear. I love you guys. So, with the Christmas season up, a lot of Patriots fans have wanted what would be the perfect Christmas gift rolling in the playoffs. And a lot of people downed it a bit. Given that the defense hasn't been totally up to snuff, there hasn't been a lot of things that have unlocked potential. Especially with the couple key injuries that have basically come down the line. Now, playing the Bills, okay, that's going to be a pushback. And the reason is they beat the Bills the first round. Now all of a sudden it's, hey, Bills, Patriots, hooray. But everybody's coming out of the woodwork now since, I want to say after like their first 5th straight win. Oh, the Patriots are back. You know what that means. This team's gonna dominate, and I want them to suck, because they're gonna suck. Look, I'll state this of any type of radio, any type of anything that's out there for media purposes. I understand the aspect of negativity radio. You're pumping so much negativity that you get a response out of somebody to make a comment, to draft how you feel, what's going on with it, how they're carrying themselves. That's fine and good. If that gets you clicks, gets you likes, gets you on somebody's parade, congratulations. I'm happy for you. You know what I think about it? I think it's the most erroneous thing in the planet. And yes, I used the word like erroneous. Okay? It could also be heinous. No, not all of them have anus, and I'm going to leave it at that. But truth be told, not a lot of people want to hear negativity. They want truth, they want facts, they want you to talk to them. They want you to be up in front, speaking as normal people and explaining to them what your actions and what your thoughts are. If you're sitting there talking negative upon negative, and you wonder why, oh, I don't get a lot of listeners, and the listeners I got, they scream at me, they cuss at me, they call me an idiot, they call me names. Wonder why? I mean, let's put it this way. Joe Buck is not the greatest sportscaster out there. And no, I'm not going to go on the gravy train with Tom Brady either. Okay? Tom's learning. He's a learning, adjusting, and going with it. And he had a great game today. Cool. Chris Collinsworth. Another one. But he picks somebody and runs a bandwagon. That man has more of Patrick Mahomes' meat down his throat, okay, than NFL refs do. And that says a lot. Because here's a guy... No, dude, don't need it. Okay? I don't want to know about a guy that you want to talk up like he's got a diaper on and carrying for any going. I'm thankful and happy with it, okay? Screw it. I don't care. Okay? Collinsworth did it a little bit tonight, okay, where he's a little off on Drake May, but then he goes to like, hey, this could be my new Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to hear it. Talk to him like he's a great guy. Talk to him how he carries himself. Talk to him how he's going to be probably some of the best aspects that's going on. Drake May MVP. That's what we want. Drake May as the leader of the Patriots. That's what we want. Anything else? Cool. But Drake had an amazing day, and I'm sorry. I might have scared the people upstairs and downstairs of the apartment complex I'm in when I'm sitting there and I'm watching things like this that get me a little bit excited. It's not supposed to buffer. This was a huge fail. I had this queued up. I hit it. I did it right. And now it's making a huge ass of me. Like, just write donkey on me, for crying out loud. Come on. Can we take a mulligan here? Like, so bad. Hey, let me show you this really great play that I loved and I was like, yo, all about. And then watch it just crap itself right in front of me. Like it's doing now. Is it normal? What the hell's going on here? Hello? You can tell it's a Patriots play.
Those two teams play week 18, but it might not be significant.
Three seconds in. Hey, let's stop. Oh my God. Is there a reason for this? Did I pay for this service? All right. I'm gonna remove that for the minute. I'm gonna go back to here. You know why? Because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. It's still sitting there buffering. I was like, I just had like a really good thing to show. It shows it's completely loaded. Maybe it just doesn't like me. Let's see if I do it this way. You gonna do it? No. It's backwards. All right. So maybe we don't have video clips for the day because everything just basically failed me. Wonderful. All right. So, bottom line of this, the Patriots have made probably a complete 180 from losing against the Bills. And that was, last week. Okay? And where do we stand right now? We're looking at the cusp of another Patriots team going into the playoffs and coming off of a horrible season last year with Gerard Mayo to stepping into the bullpen and going yard with Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels. I'm always going to include Josh McDaniels in that. The reason I'm going to include him is because he deserves it. He's come in, controlled the offense. He's controlled where he needs to be. He's setting up plays and making Drake May stronger. I'm down for that. I'm all about that. That's what you need. You need somebody to go in and make him better. So, you brought in the man that worked with Tom Brady, and he attempted with Mac Jones, and you saw how good Mac Jones was year one. Now you're back to another quarterback in Drake May, and you're making Drake May look like a candidate for MVP. Drake May is making himself look like a candidate for MVP. And of course, he had 3 kind of snippy quarters, kind of everything that was like off the rocker, nothing that was completely, oh my god, we have to like get this hype to it. But take a step back for a sec. Does a football game end with 3 quarters? No. Here's where you see MVP caliber in Drake May. 3 quarters. You're kind of keeping yourself in the game, and you're down a little bit. Every once in a while, you're going seesaw back and forth. A leader, MVP, otherwise, is going to go in the 4th quarter and dominate, take over. Against one of the top defenses, especially after week 5, because they've gotten stronger, they've made the case for it, and they've had to, especially with Lamar Jackson being out or even questionable. Baltimore Ravens do have a scary defense. For starters, New England put up 28 points against them in the game. That is beautiful. That is what you want, how you want it, when you want it. And if you're not sitting there looking at anything else and saying, hey, putting up 28 points is great, 15 in the 4th quarter to not only seal the deal, seal what you need in order to get the win, and cement yourself going into the playoffs, I don't know what more you want. What do you want to look at the 1st quarter, how they didn't score? Excuse me while I snore. I don't care about that. Here, let me go back and actually look at the 2nd quarter where they put up 10 points. And it was a tie game going into the half. I'm okay with that. I'd rather that. What? And then to the fact that at the end of the 3rd, it's what? 17-13? How did the game end? And how did the 4th quarter go? If you're looking at something completely different than I am, please tell me. Because I'm looking at a football game. Let me adjust this really quick. I'm looking at a football game that I had a quarterback go in, take control, and say, I want to win. And that dime to Williams, whoo! Don't tell me about half the stuff going on and then just sit there and, oh, they didn't score in the 1st quarter. So, how the game begins and how the game ends, 2 different theories. I like the end theory because the end theory will show you, hey, they didn't score in the 1st quarter, but they scored in the 4th, and the 4th is what mattered. I'm actually curious if I can actually get this up now. Take a chance on it. I'm actually running it as a test to make sure like I'm not. Oh my god, it really does linger. This is what I also pay Comcast extra money for. So this way it doesn't linger. Checking my connection to make sure everything's good. It like wants to move. It's giving me all indication it's moving. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't go through the whole way, no, it gets. The funny thing is, it gets to the same spot, guys. So it's kind of disappointing. But let's talk about like what Drake May did for the game. Okay, this is a man that finally went over throwing a lot of yards because Trevion Henderson went down. Okay, he went down. He went to the blue tent. He only had 5 carries. He had 3 yards. It was not looking good in any which way. Okay, Ramondre Stevenson finished the rest of the way, averaged 6.4 yards. 21 was as long as he had 51 yards on the day. But Drake May went 31 for 44. 31 for 44. So he threw 44 passes and connected on 31 of them? Oh, he only missed 13. Ooh. Was sacked 3 times, had a quarterback rating of 102.5. Okay? 380 yards. First time in 40-something games that any Patriots quarterback has been over 300 yards since Mac Jones. Drake May has now surpassed this year being over the 300-yard mark, and he did it in style. 2 touchdowns and an interception. Listen, on a game like this, I'll take it. Because Drake May is controlling the game. He's pushing the boundary. And if a lot of people can't see what he's doing and how he's doing it as a quarterback, you're missing the point. Because that's the only thing I ever see is failing and how it's failing. Because that's all anybody wants to talk about. They don't talk about putting up 380 yards against the Baltimore Ravens. No, let's talk about 100 and something yards he put up against the Bills. Where the whole team just basically had their number with the referees and everything else. It was basically a clear-cut game of, okay, let's move on. And the Patriots did. Drake May throwing up 380 yards shows you his response to losing to the Bills. I didn't like it. It also shows what the Patriots didn't like. Losing. And there was one thing that they said during the broadcast that was clear-minded, and I mentioned in a previous podcast. I'd rather them lose so this way they can get back to the focus of winning again. Why does that do what it does? Because it gets the pressure off them. 10 straight wins is a lot. 10 straight wins with everything else you have going on is a lot. Pressure of getting into the playoffs, pressure of going up against Buffalo. Buffalo basically did them a favor. Yes, we beat you, but now we walked into, again, enemy territory and put a hurt on someone, basically the Ravens, because you marked them for 28 points. Drake May left his mark. He peed all over you for 380 yards. Okay, you can sniff your field afterwards all you want. The point is there. It's what he did. Stephon Diggs basically gave you the finger. He didn't do what DK Metcalf did during the Lions game. Ooh. But he put up 138 yards out of 9 receptions. Now, did he get a touchdown? No. Do you want to complain about that? Or would you rather have something where Stephon Diggs did 100 yards plus on 9 receptions, averaging 15 yards a catch, and making a statement? I'd rather that. It doesn't always have to be about touchdowns. Okay? Kyle Williams is another story. This man averages 20 plus a catch. And the past couple catches he's had have been scores. That's beautiful. Mac Hollins threw up 69 yards. Gotta love it. Okay? So Hunter Henry and Kyle Williams were the 2 touchdowns that Drake May had. Take it. I'll take it all day. And I'd rather have that than just the basics. There's got to be a way that people understand not everything is going to go according to plan. And especially when you're in a game, you have to adapt. You have to follow. You have to change your ways and mindset of what a lot of things are doing. If you don't do it, you're already failing. And the beauty part is that's what the Patriots are doing. They're making their statements and everything else well known for what they need to get done. They're getting the ball moved. They're getting everything handled. They're going in the direction they need to. I'm loving every minute of it. Okay, especially with the Zay Flowers fumble. It was a beautiful piece. And I know what is basically going to go on the line with a lot of things. Well, they didn't have Lamar Jackson. Well, which Lamar Jackson was showing up? That's what I wanted to know. Was it pure injury Lamar Jackson? Or was it MVP caliber Lamar Jackson? Whichever one was showing up, that's who I wanted to see. Because if it was injury-prone Lamar Jackson, it's good that they substituted because it gives him next week, especially if you're a Ravens fan, you want to focus on getting into the playoffs. You want him healthy for the playoffs if you get in. Taking it to where you have an extra game, I'd rather a healthy Lamar Jackson. Something that gets you where you need to be for the playoffs versus I don't have Lamar Jackson for the playoffs now. Because if Drake May was in the same boat, I want playoff Drake May versus injured, can't play, insert backup here. I don't even think we've talked about the backup for like the Patriots. It's been a while. Like where did you go? This game did have a lot of things I wanted to see. Okay? Drake May showing that his MVP case is huge. Okay? Ladies, he's taken, by the way. Stop staring at his MVP case, please. But it insinuates that this is another good team that the Patriots have beaten. It's another team to mark off put a notch in the belt. The Patriots won. Patriots did it. Congratulations. Okay, you're doing what you need to do. You're getting it in there. This messing up now. So, I'm still trying to figure out everything that's basically like yelling at me. Normally I don't have this issue, but hopefully everybody is like still able to watch. I'm seeing it on YouTube. I'm seeing like there's not an issue on here. If there is an issue on X, it is not on my end. I swear to God. If you can hear me, great. If there's something going on, put it in the comments, because like I'm able to look at everything, but I have no idea as to why it's being fumbly on my end. But also, thank you for anybody who is literally hanging out and all such. So, I guess the aspect of it, Denver lost, right? If I'm looking at NFL.com, which I'm trying to get in here, which thankfully I'm able to load this, but X is just hating me. Or maybe it is my internet being funky, because like it's running at least what it is. Okay, San Francisco and Indy have the Monday night game. That's fine. Houston did beat Vegas by 2. Wow. Pittsburgh, Detroit, hell of a game. 29-4. Jacksonville did beat Denver. Now, I'll state this because one of the guys I love reading his reviews. I follow him on DraftKings. He's a really good guy. Emerson Latzia is a Jacksonville Jaguar nut. Besides the fact of his love of glizzies, he's a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. And when he posts something about how he loves Trevor Lawrence, and we did do yesterday, when we did part 1, we mentioned Jacoby Myers going over and getting that nice, good signature, so Trevor Lawrence now has another toy to throw to. Reverting this, Jacksonville beating Denver is monumental in 2 different ways. So, it gets Jacksonville poised and set to be where they need to be in the playoff run. But also, it kind of knocks Denver down a notch, where you can kind of squeak in the bye possibly if Denver goes down in the next 2 games, like one of the 2 games, and the Patriots, who they have the Jets, and they have the Dolphins. The Dolphins, who got smoked by Cincinnati today. And then the Jets, well, somebody out there loves the Jets. It's nobody here. We understand. But somebody out there does love the Jets. And we're okay. Okay? We respect your decision. We respect everything you do. That's also completely fine. Tennessee also blew out Kansas City, because I think Gardner Minshew might even have an injury where he himself tore his ACL. Ripes. Minnesota beat the Giants 16-13. I don't know why I did backwards on that. Atlanta annihilating Arizona 26-19. Almost 23-19. I would have laughed. Chargers took care of Dallas 34-17. Dallas is out of it as is. Buffalo narrowly. Okay, Buffalo scraped by on Cleveland. Because everybody, and I reviewed this, everybody was talking about Buffalo having a clairvoyant, easy path to get past Cleveland with Shedeur Sanders. And Shedeur not being that closer yet, or whatever it is, but the proof on this was kind of take it back and kind of wonder, because just by 3, it was bad. And there was also almost a safety with Myles Garrett almost getting his sack, which would have made him the league, well, would have made him the leader in sacks over the course of a year. I think 22.5 is the highest. He got his half sack, which I think put him at 22. And that was with Josh Allen being right at the goal line. I'm looking at that like, yeah, that's carried. Carolina showing they still strength, 23-20. Chicago beating Green Bay 22-16. There's a lot of things that, especially with the playoff picture, just gets more clear. And I'm waiting for the NFL piece to load so we can discuss that. I'm sorry I also don't have somebody to work with this on me. It's basically me. So when I go to pull something or do something, it's all me. It's what I do here. So there are 2 spots available for the NFC. The Seahawks, the Bears, the Eagles, the Rams, and the Niners. Those are the 5 spots right now that are in it. Okay? The Panthers and the Packers are knocking on the door. The Lions and the Buccaneers are far behind, but the Buccaneers, with their loss, kind of went almost to the back seat, kind of like where they're in that huge trunk space of the wagon when, like, you know, you get the parents driving. It's like, oh, in there, Dad, I can't see anything, Mom. Can you throw me a cupcake? But officially, the Vikings, the Cowboys, the Falcons, the Saints, Commanders, Cardinals, Giants of the NFC, they are out. Gone. Kaputski. See you later. Better luck next year. Go grab your golf pants. Okay? Swing a little bit and call it a day. The Patriots, 12-3. The Broncos are also 12-3. That's why I'm saying, like, the Broncos taking a loss. And the Patriots taking the win, because, you know, they've got the easy schedule. That will cement them somewhere where they will be, you know, the head of the pack. Right now, it's just looking like, you know, they are where they are. Full schedule in the swing for Broncos. Okay. So, we'll probably walk through and annihilate Kansas City because Kansas City isn't anything right now. They basically had their, you know, their quarterback amputated, so he's out for the year. Their secondary guy is probably out for the year. But then week 18 could be the challenge for them. Because this is going to be the Denver Broncos versus the LA Chargers. That game will solidify probably a good amount of stuff of what you're looking at. Because the Chargers are in it. They're in the hunt. They're 11-4. So, depends on how next week goes. And then the following week, which will make it up. With the Patriots walking in, playing Miami and the Jets, I'm not meaning to be rude to Jets fans. No, wait, I am. I'm not meaning to be rude to Dolphins fans. Just a smidge. But the Patriots walking in there, that's basically 2 games. And the reason I say it is because I'm sick and tired of everybody saying, oh, yeah, they're probably going to be 0-4 after the next 4 games. They're going to play Buffalo, lose. They're going to play Baltimore, lose. They're going to play New York, lose. They're going to play Miami, lose. Really? Really? Okay, I'll give you the Buffalo game. Okay, referees and all such, like, you know, going at it. It's great. Take the refs. Go with it. I'm cool. I'm fine. I'm with it. But you know what I'm not going to give you? I'm not going to give you the Ravens game because they won. They look like champions. 28-24, played 4 quarters, dealt 4 quarters, gave the 15 points when they needed it in the 4th quarter to win the game. Beautiful. Beautiful. But then, what? The Jets? Come on. The Jets have not won, I think, in like weeks. Beyond belief. And then, who else? The Dolphins? The Dolphins have sat Tua Tagovailoa. They're banking on their, what? Their 5th or 6th round draft pick? In order to make the dance, in order to stick out with anything, like a sore thumb. Oh, come on, man. The way I'm looking, they play Miami Dolphins the last game. So it's either they're sitting out a lot of guys and they're going to get ready for the playoffs, or they're going to make the push because there is a chance that the Broncos could lose that last game. And if they do, and the Patriots stop, Because right now with the Patriots, they are 12-3. They could be 14-3. And the Broncos could be 13-4. If that happens, Patriots get the bye. They walk into it like a cloud. But guess who has to fight to get into where they are? The Bills. Probability of Cleveland all you want. The point is when you play Cleveland and you couldn't score on Cleveland like you scored on us, that says something. That says something was not right, something wasn't clicked. And maybe we got too far-fetched within our head. That's fine. But for the Bills to even stay relevant, number one, you're looking at the Eagles, Jets. They're going to stomp the Jets, whether they have their third string, fourth string, they get a Pee-wee team to actually put on Bills uniforms. Okay? That's a game that the Bills are basically going to take, so I'm going to give them the win there. Depends on what the Eagles do. The Eagles are already in suit for where they are in the playoffs. Okay? They are right now the number 3 seed at 10-5, first in the NFC East. Could it change? Not really. Because the second person in the NFC East is the Cowboys at 6-8. They're out. So, if I'm Philly, I'm starting my starters, maybe one quarter, and my backup's enough, and otherwise are getting some points. Because that is a game I don't need to carry. I don't need to go crazy. That's on my end. For everything else, do what you need to. That's fine. I am just looking at these pieces, even with the tie-breaking procedures. Okay, 2 or more clubs in the same division finish with identical one-loss percentages. The following steps will be taken until a champion is determined. Head-to-head. Best one-loss tied percentage. Okay, so I don't think they have to go that far in. And I need to get I need to download this playoff bracket so we can actually put it up and get it set. Well, if it wants to work, the clips and everything I was doing. It's here, watch this. Hey, guy doing a podcast just had everything stick. Why? I don't know. The funny thing is it's loading on YouTube. So where it's loading on YouTube, I'm sitting there okay, well, I'm running YouTube. There shouldn't be an issue. The whole page seems to load, and it hates me. I just wanted to show you guys a really good clip that I loved. Ah, so disappointing. Right now, it's not even loading anything. It's just showing me an ad. Well, I'm 100% on board with what I'm looking at with Drake May. I'm 100% on board with where I'm looking with this Patriots team. And if anybody thinks that Mike Vrabel does not deserve Coach of the Year, the door's that way. See yourself out. Because for how many people said that they're not beating the Ravens? That right there should get you checked off anywhere. Not beating the Ravens? Come on. That's a cakewalk. No matter what, you're coming off of a loss. You've seen the resiliency of the team. You've seen how they've grown. And I don't, at this point, care how people folly with it, but you have to look at one of the biggest things going on with the Patriots. And one of the biggest things going on with the Patriots is this is a team. This isn't, it's just the Drake May show, nobody else, nothing else going on here. You know, don't have to like look around and find out or anything like that. No. It is a whole team. The whole team is playing. The defense is putting suit where they are, and they are still a top 5 caliber defense. And over the next week, but right up to where you get into the playoffs, you're going to get players back. Okay? It is even stated that Will Campbell is supposed to come back before the playoffs. That's on the offensive side. And the offense has basically been a motor show. Drake May throwing bombs. Okay? He made them in a bomb factory. Congratulations. He's a champ with doing it. There's so much that they are showing and doing. But they operate as a team. They don't operate as, hey, this guy is like the thing in the world. Let's do this. No. They are 100% on board as a team where they need to be as a team. A lot of guys are looking for, oh, man, I need my 100 yards to get my this. It's the same thing I said with Stephon Diggs. He threw up 138 yards out of 9 catches. Did he get a touchdown? No. If you go to that man and ask him if he cares about a touchdown, how many yards did I put up? Did I help our team move the ball downfield? Did we get the ball where we needed it to be? Did I score a touchdown? No. Did we win the game? Yes. Which part are you focusing on? Diggs is in the mentality where he wants to win. This is a new mentality for the man. He believes in the quarterback, just as everybody on that offensive line and also the receivers. This is not a he said, she said argument. We hate you. We don't like you. We like this quarterback over this quarterback. No. That is completely out the door. This is a Drake May show. But Drake May, as humble as fuck as he is, I said it. Said the F word. This is his team. This is the team. Going into the playoffs, that's what you're going to be looking at. Now, I'm going to make this comment, and I know somebody will make it. Somebody will throw me under the bus. Somebody will leave something bad. I don't care. Is it Super Bowl or bust with the Patriots? You've just made strides of getting right into the playoffs. You're now one of the top 3 teams in the playoffs. You're either going to play the 8th seed, you're going to get a bye. Something is going to click where everything works. But how do you want to see it? Are you okay with getting past the first round, going out in the second round? Are you okay with going out in the, getting the first and second round and going out in the third? Or are you one of those people that, hey, we're here, we're on the doorstep, now it's Super Bowl or bust? Do not get this tangled, do not get me wrong. I want them in the playoffs. I want them where they are, and I want them in the Super Bowl. Is it a possibility? Well, yes. Every team that goes in, they have a probability aspect of either making the Super Bowl or just walking away. They don't make. Are people going to be upset? Are people going to be like, oh, it's a waste of a season. What the heck? Drake May's graphic ability. Oh, we're going to get rid of Diggs and we're going to do that. Like, are you going to go down that road and state to the fact that everything they did was trash? Okay? And I'm not talking about the Boston Bruins where Oh, we had one of the best records in all of the NHL, and yet you couldn't get past the first round. That's different. Because those guys are playing 82-something games, should have rested, should have taken the L's, should have taken where they were, top tier of the NHL, and going. These are the Patriots. They're going to rest, they're going to relax, they're going to put their focus, they're going to focus on the postseason, and they're going to go as far as they can go. But is it Super Bowl or bust? I want to know. Leave a comment on X, leave a comment anywhere, but I want to know. If the Patriots do not make the Super Bowl, it's a lost season. Because, hear me out, there's going to be more time with Vrabel. There is going to be more time with Josh McDaniels. There is going to be a hell of a lot more time with Drake May. This is a turnaround season. And to turn around how badly you were last year, to turn around and be exactly what you are this year, that's prominent. That's what I basically expected the Bruins to do. But they went in a completely different direction, kind of like going middle of the pack and wherever they are. Okay? But I also expected it out of the Celtics, and I know I'm crossing sports. I don't care at the moment. But I'm making comparisons. It's the same thing with the Red Sox. I knew they weren't making the World Series. But getting to where they were in the playoffs, I was okay with. Because they were trash at the beginning of the year, came out firing to where they were in the middle part of the year, and showed a definitive culture that changed after Rafael Devers left. This is the same culture. In a difference with football. Gerard Mayo was not a proper culture, left. You now have Mike Vrabel leading the culture, leading everything he needs to do, and making those pure assumptions to carry what is going on. That led to what you have now in the Patriots being 12-3. That's a huge, huge jump to what they were last year. I like where they are. It reminds me of Brady-esque football. It reminds me of Belichick-esque football. Why? Because the point and prominency is on the players. They're carrying themselves right. They're doing what they need to do. And they're on point for everything going on. Beautiful. But what if they don't make it? I don't want to be that guy thinking negatively, but I have to think realistically. There is a chance that they play the Broncos and lose. They could play the Bills again and lose. Okay? They could play the Jaguars and lose. They could play the Steelers again and lose. They could play the Chargers, the Texans. Hell, they could play the Ravens again and the Ravens jam it down their throat. They could play Old Man Rivers with the Colts. Patriots, Colts. Take whatever it is, like, you know, the AFC playoffs and lose. I doubt they would lose to Old Man Rivers. But it is possible. I'm not saying it's probable, but it's possible. Are you going to be that upset? Are you happy where the Patriots are now? Because we all have the ambition that you're going to make it to the Super Bowl. You all have that sitting like way back here, you know, right next to like the bad porn that you watched on Thursday, and like, you know, the impure thoughts you had about the barista that gave you your coffee this morning. Okay, it sits back here. Because it's a wonderful thought to have. It's kind of like, hey, I'm ready for Christmas. Let's go. You know, You're going to get your stocking. You're going to get excited. Yeah, you didn't get the tickets for the thing that you wanted, but you spent time with family. You're happy about it. But you're disappointed about the tickets. That to me is the Patriots not making the Super Bowl. I'm bummed I didn't get the tickets, but where I am, I'm surrounded by love. And the Patriots are feeling that right now. To me, that's what you need. You need the love. You need the happiness. You need that embrace. Because next year could be stronger. Next year, Patrick Mahomes could come back. You could play the Chiefs, and now it's May versus Mahomes. And May shows who he is. I mean, hell, Drake May could win the MVP. What does that do? Make you look like a champion. Okay? There's a lot of those probability aspects that could come to light. I just want to know if you're mad at it if they don't make it. Because in hindsight, nobody, and I mean nobody, okay? I will go to your house. I will point to you. I will find your Facebook and point to each single one of anybody who told me that the Patriots would be 12-3 right now. I didn't even think they were going to be 12-3, and I'm pretty damn good with pointing that out. But no, I did not think they were going to be 12-3. Did I think they were going to be on the border of sneaking into the playoffs? Yes. Did I think they were going to be like a 9-10 win team? They could push the cusp. Never did I think to the fact that they were going to be 12, possibly 14-3. And don't lie to me. Don't lie. Okay? Because you know what? Santa's watching, buddy. He knows. You're going to get cold. It's going to be right there. Stuck to your cheek when you wake up. Right there. Don't lie to me. You know that you did not expect the Patriots to be a 12-3 team right now. Nobody did. I don't even think the Patriots believed it. But they believed in taking everything one step at a time. And they proved it. They went down, they showed what they had, they showed the muster, and that's where they are. A 12-3 team right now with the possibility of being 14-3. So, I stated it before. I always state it as it goes. Playoffs, everything resets. Everything. I said it when the Celtics were playing in their playoffs. I said it when the Bruins were playing, because there are two things that playoffs bring. Your record is now 0-0. Congratulations. You made it to the final adjustment of being one of those teams that play for this champion caliber statue that you're going to get. Number two, somewhere there are teams. I'm believing the Texans might do it. The Chargers might do it. The Ravens, if they've rested Lamar Jackson and they make it, might do it. The Steelers, being 9-6, might do it. The Jaguars could be on the cusp of starting to do it right now. There is another cylinder that teams shift into and play a different caliber sport when they are in the playoffs. It is a known fact every single time I talk about sports. There is something that someone clicks and goes, oh, you know, we were good and we made the playoffs. But now it's time to show that we're better. And they're the team that's supposed to be out the first round. They make it to the dance. They make it to the championship game and they get nixed, and that's fine because nobody expected them to go that far. That's playoff mentality. That's playoff sports. Anybody tells you otherwise, they don't know ball. Tell them to go home. Okay? Show them the clip of Chris Collins. Now here's a guy that doesn't know ball. Every time you get into the playoffs, you can either kick that gear like everybody else, or you can downshift, which some teams that go up, they downshift to play defensively to make sure they're getting as far as they can. But they overcompensate. And they're out in the first round. They're out in the second round. Do I see that happening to the Patriots? I hope to God not. But is it a possibility to be done? Oh, God, sure. Anything and everything can happen. And you hope it goes correct because the team that you want in there is in there. They're playing, they're grinding, they're showing their muster. Yes! Yes! But they could crap out just as quickly as anybody else. It stinks. It sucks. It happens. Don't hate. Roll with it. This is a time when it's okay to say, better luck next year. My wholehearted dream, when they ask you, where do you see yourself in the next 5 games? Well, if I'm looking at this right, the Super Bowl. Now, could I get one wrong and not show up to the Super Bowl? Yeah. Is it going to make me a bad employee? No. It just means to the fact that you have goals of where you want to be. And right now, the Patriots have crossed the line of getting better at the beginning of the season. They did. They crossed off their marks. And somewhere in Denmark it was, hey, let's get to the playoffs. They're here. They're on the door. They're waiting in line, in the queue, in whatever you want to call it, okay? At the front of the doorway to the playoff club to get in. They are 2 of 7 teams that are going to walk into that club doing a dance. 8 teams, I'm sorry. No, 7, because it's 14 total. Because one has the bye. Yeah, I was right. So, there's one line that is for the NFC, and there's one line for the AFC. The AFC right now has 2 people in line. Patriots, Broncos. But there are people pulling up in their car. You have to face those teams. All I'm saying for hopefully some good work, and we'll see where everything goes. I'm hoping for the best, but don't count it because I don't want to be that guy that like looks at everything and goes, oh my God, I don't think this is going somewhere. Because I'd love for it to end in the Super Bowl. I would love to simplify. And you know something? I would love to have it where if you have to beat Buffalo to get there, I'm okay with that. If you've got to beat Denver, where it's Bo Nix versus Drake May, I'm okay with that. And here's why. Has anybody been talking about Bo Nix being an MVP caliber season? Has anybody been chanting for Bo Nix to be, you know, an MVP? No. But the league has talked about Drake May being an MVP, being a part of the MVP conversation, because he's putting up numbers that make him in that conversation. He's playing in that form of controlling his team for his second year way better than Bo Nix is. And Bo Nix is putting up some good numbers. Don't want to take it away from him. Okay? His team is doing certain things that are wonderful. But the control is not all on Bo Nix. It's on Broncos. Drake May is doing everything he can in order to lead his team. He is talking to the defense. He is talking to the offense. He is being a leader. That's what an MVP is. Most valuable player. Take them away, and what are they? Now, you could probably throw Sam Darnold, just taken, for example, onto the Broncos, and he'll probably win. Could you take Russell Wilson? No, they've already tried that. Could you take Mac Jones and put him in there? It might be possible. So there are educational pieces that will get you where you need to be and how you need to carry. Can you take Drake May away from the Patriots and still win? No. You can insert somebody and you'll probably have half of your games taken away. You might also have half of your decisions because that quarterback is going to make different decisions. Drake May has been spot on with his growth. He has been spot on within what he's doing. And there is such a thing as a sophomore slump when you're in the NFL. A lot of players have done it. Drake May has taken a sophomore slump and turned it into a sophomore superstar. There's no way to look at it. The man is everything you want and more. Is he Caleb Williams? He's more than Caleb Williams. If I had my choice between picking Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and Caleb Williams all within a draft pick again, and I'm given the number 3 pick, knowing what I know but the other two teams don't, I'm still picking Drake May. If I had the number 1 spot, I'm picking Drake May. If I had the number 2 spot, I am picking Drake May. This kid is built for here. He is built for here. He will get comfortable here. He will be the new aspect of a leader that the New England Patriots have in their quarterback system. And no, I'm not. Fuck you. Fuck you and anybody who thinks this. I am not putting any type of comparison to Drake May to Tom Brady. No. Are you asking for bullshit? I try to keep it as clean as possible. I try not to swear as much as I'm doing. But this one, I needed to make that comment. No. Eat your mom's shorts. No. Walk away. See you later. Bye. Go find somebody in order to touch. No. No. Completely inappropriate. Okay? It's almost as bad as Kayshon Boutte getting touched everywhere, especially on his Johnson, and having no interference call. Okay? No. That is Brady interference. There was one Tom Brady. And you make comparisons to him all the time. Oh, he's Brady. Yeah. Oh, he's going to be the next Brady. He's going to be the next Brady. Oh, look at Patrick Mahomes. He went down with the ACL tear like Tom Brady did. No, he didn't. Tom, I think, was in 3 to 4 games into the season, and he tore that ACL. And the Patriots were on the cusp, what, 10 and something? They almost made the playoffs? Yeah. That team was built for Brady, but Matt Castle was right there to carry them. Gardner Minshew ain't crap. And Patrick Mahomes had a shit year leading into what he did. So anybody want to make that comparison? Oh boy, you got some issues there, buddy. You might be sniffing up the homeland. But I'm fine with where I think, because I'm not going to compare Drake May to Tom Brady. There is one Tom Brady. There is one Drake May. And there are things that Drake May does that are Drake May choices. He can run the ball, he can control the ball, and he's getting better at it. When he knocks on the Hall of Fame and is ready to go through everything, and if you want to go through the caliber season that he had, that Tom Brady had, if he also throws up 4 rings, cool. But I don't want to hear it until something is grown out of it, because this kid may not live up to that expectation, and people are going to sit there judging him for it. Oh, well, Brady didn't make that. Who cares? There's 5 things over there that Drake May did that look astronomical that Brady never did. Do you compare Tom Brady to Drake May? No. So why do the opposite? Get your head out of your ass. You don't need those types of like crapola. It's pointless. And how I'm going to end the show is, I don't know if anybody here who's lingering in X or anything like that, if you're here. First off, thank you for being here. You can listen to the replay if you missed anything. It is wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on Amazon. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on the crapola that's on the crapola. So, really quick, I'm going to make this very, very short and very, very sweet. The Red Sox acquiring Wilson Contreras from the Cardinals. For starters, you're becoming the Boston Cardinals. I don't want their leftovers. I don't want crapola. Okay? And I'm looking at this, and it's great to the fact that, like, you know, you get a bat. Is it your answer? No. Is it good defense? Sure. But you gave up Hunter Dobbins, Yokier Fajero, who was at one point Boston's 23rd prospect in the pipeline rankings, and Blake Ada. What the trash? For a 33-year-old that you're going to have for a year or two, what's the benefit of what you also got out? Oh, what? You got $8 million? We're the Boston Red Sox. Are we that poor? Here's the part that I'll kick that has pissed me off about the Red Sox. And John Henry, I'm going to tag you in this because I want you to comprehend. You're almost a friggin' billionaire, you doofus. If you don't make the Red Sox pay for somebody, you look like that much of a ninny. And I say it because you own a football team. Not a national football team, but the soccer football team. You are a ninny, sir. Why? Oh, let's go through the pipe. Hey, how's Kyle Schwarber looking? Oh, right. Yeah, that's right, too. Kyle Schwarber is still a member of the Phillies. Well, let's categorize somewhere else. Hey, by the way, how's Pete Alonso looking? Oh, Pete Alonso went to an AL East rival. You dipshit. Oh, we're gonna put out good money for like all these guys. Yeah, we're putting out feelers. You know something? If I could win a World Series championship, or how many times I checked in on put feelers on players, yeah, I'd make the Yankees look like bitches. Spend your money or don't. If you're not going to spend the money, sell the team to somebody that wants to spend the money, who wants to get in there and win, who wants to get these guys win. Because you also whiffed on the third base kid. Why? Did he go to the White Sox? If I think I'm looking at it right, as I'm looking, nope. Padres signed Sung Mun Song. That's not the person I'm looking for. Hey, by the way, Bobby Dahlbeck's playing overseas. He'll play for the Yomiuri Giants. All right, I think it's something with my internet, because this is not working wonderfully. So Monitaka Murakami. He was the power hitter that everybody was in, but the Red Sox had their best ideas to get him. And let me ask you something. For how much you paid for Daisuke Matsuzaka, for how much you paid for Yoshida, for how much you paid for Rusney Castillo, or Frenchie Cordero, or whichever one was like down in the minors for like the longest period of time, if you couldn't put together 2 years, $34 million in order to ace this kid, you got the dumb. You do. $17 million. It's under 20. It's only 2 years. You have the money. What's stopping you? Well, the White Sox. The White Sox made the stop. I just didn't get it because the kid is under 30. Are we trying to play Ben Gay ball? Hey, let's get all the 30-plus guys like in here. Let's get the old guys for yay. What am I missing here? Breslow, what do you... What? You get the younger guys to trade for the older guys, so this way the older guys can get their playing time and the younger guys go to a different team, and you wonder why you don't have prospects or you're not growing in a team mentality because these guys are falling apart and getting injured, and you're wondering why you're 15 games back. Do I sound right? You took a young and up-and-coming team. No help from how Alex Cora wanted to manage sometimes, because you saw the fact of how it happened in the beginning of the year before you got rid of Rafael Devers. You saw that aspect. somewhere that team started clicking with themselves. They started working with themselves. And you're trading away some of those pieces to get older pieces to do what? When someone said, oh, hey, how do you feel about Ketel Marte? Yeah, leave him in Arizona. I don't care. 32 years old. He's on a little bit of a decline. What happens if he breaks down? Making a small acquisition for Sonny Gray made a little bit more sense because you're adding experience to a young, fresh rotation that could be bigger than what you have. And Sonny Gray has not stopped. He's only gotten better. Aroldis Chapman is another one. He is aged like fine wine where he's only gotten better. What does Wilson Contreras do for you if he hits 16 home runs? I could have went out on the street and picked up somebody who was doing that with no axe to grind whatsoever, who is not so hard $1 million, and it's a pointless fiasco to give up one of my younger players. Now, if I sat there and I got Joe Ryan for Hunter Dobbins, plus a couple players to be named and everything like that, you wouldn't see me throw a hissy fit. Because it's a stronger number 2 pitcher that you still need. You could have signed Pete Alonso for the money, and who the hell cares for the other money that you're banking? Why didn't you? 5 years, $140 million, $145 million? Oh my God. It's possible to do. It's impossible to control. When you're not making the effort and the aspect in order to turn these teams into something that's going to help you grow, you wonder why people do not want to watch. Yes, last year's team was wonderful. It was glorious. It was something to behold. What do you do in the long term? Do you really think strengthening what you do in the long term, going older, is going to make you better? No. $20 says Brian Bay was going to go into this year, and he's already focused on how to make things better than what he did against the Yankees. And people want to trade him for it. You want to trade a kid who's busted his rear end to be just as good, if not better, to a number 3, number 4 starter, where he could even possibly, over the next year or two, become your second starter right behind Garrett Crochet if he gets himself stronger than what he needs to, and you want to give him up. Peyton Tolley could be the same damn thing, but you want to give it up. Points of argument that get me on Major League Baseball that makes me sweat. I'm thankful I got my happiness out of like whatever the hell the Patriots did today, because talking about the Red Sox makes my jock itch. It's there. There are better things that the Red Sox can do in this part and in this day in order to make the team better. I want to see it. I want to see where it plays out. I want to see where it goes. I'm expecting better. But when you swing and miss on acquiring a bat like Pete Alonso's, where you need hitting, you need a first baseman, and you need everything else, and you came up a couple dollars short, you're not poor. You know you're not. You have the capability. Same thing with Kyle Schwarber. You could have looked. Schwab's always wanted to come back to Boston in some way, shape, or form. But no, you had him stay with where he is in Philadelphia. You could have edged it. You could have made it worthwhile. You could have got him here, and you would have had your bat. Now, granted, Kyle Schwarber is older, but you're not giving up anything for him. You're signing him. You know what you're giving up? Money. You know what the better part of that is? It's just money. It's not the future of the team. It's not the halfway point of like half the trash that you're talking about. It's money. I'd rather give up the money than give up the half of crap that you're giving up now in order to make it not doable. Now I'm wound up. It's like almost 2 a.m. I'm wound up. I'm ready to go, and I'm pissed. Pissed! If I had any kind of indentation of what the Red Sox were going to do this year, during the winter meetings or otherwise, I think I made it very clear that if they have to give up young to go older or experienced, you're not going to have the same team on the field that you did last year. Okay? There's something of the grind, there's something about the heart and the indication of what this team was that you're looking for to be better. You're not looking to ground it worse. Now, getting Sonny Gray and also, I hate pronouncing the guy's name, but the pitcher that came from the Pirates, that has possibilities. It could be a number 4, a number 3 rotation starter. He could be a bullpen starter. Did you need a purebred number 2? Okay? Well, you did not get a number 2. You're now number 2-less, and it's still swimming for where you aren't. Ha ha. Dr. Evil went out and got a number 2. He created his Doctor 2. His number 2. His Doctor 2. Be better. Go get better. Spend money. Don't sit there and tell me you don't have money. Listen, if Alex Bregman walks and goes to another team, I don't care. If you have no faith in Marcelo Meyer because you want to sign Alex Bregman, then trade the motherfucker. If you don't have respect or admiration or faith in a player, get rid of them. Signing Wilson Contreras either means you're going to use Casas as a DH, use him as a backup if Contreras goes down, or you're going to trade him. Do something with it. Make it happen. Make something stick. Oh. It's so late at night. I'm lucky I don't have anybody, like, I could be sitting here yelling, and people are like, huh? What's going on here? Alright. Anything I made, please go make the comments. Please go, like, let me know how much I suck. Let them know everything and a half of, like, what's happening. And above all else, let me know about what you think about the Patriots, and if they don't make the Super Bowl, are you going to be one of those guys that, like, it's a falling year? Okay? I really want to know, because I want to know if, like, you know, I would love for them to make it, but I know if it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. It just means next year you have something to, like, you know, look forward to. And let me know what you think about the Contreras signing. I want to know, like, these things just as anybody else. Like, let me know your comments. I'm just a blowhard who sits here talking to you, and, like, who cares? But I like thinking about both sides. Like, you know, is there a benefit to Contreras? Is there not a benefit to Contreras? Is there hope to win the Super Bowl or get to the Super Bowl? Is there not hope to get to the Super Bowl? Both are valid. I just know how I feel. I want to know how you feel. It's a conversation starter. I'll go first. Somebody farted. Talk about it. Also, feel free to go to speakpipe.com. Look for us at Boston Concessions. You can leave your comments and everything there. I will sometimes play them on here if I need to. Also, if you belch horribly, I will slander you because I've had some worst burps in the world show up on my speak pipe, and the only thing I do is laugh. But in this, thank you everybody for tuning in. I am Topher with Boston Concessions. We thank you for hanging out with us, even though I didn't get to show my video because the internet decided to be toolish. I'll have to be better so this way it strengthens me forward. Thank you for listening. Thank you for putting up with me, and thank you for everything and a half of like everybody who's just watching. Hopefully we will talk to you again. We do have the 49th episode that'll come in probably after Christmas, and then just before the new year, we will have the 50th episode of the year that we are very excited for, with a couple spots that will, make some excitement happen, and we're looking forward to it. So to everybody, thank you, and good night all.